Peasant want some chocolate? Sure. Then buy some, pussy.
You smell like penis.
And you gonna die, old lady. And your breath stank. I like that. The movie begins in a CGI-looking-ass chocolate factory as Willy Wonka puts 5 golden tickets in his chocolate bars that are sent to cities like London, Cairo, and Tokyo. And we're introduced to this poor-ass, broke-ass, potentially about to be homeless-ass, grew up to say, I am a surgeon-ass named Charlie. And his family's so poor they can only afford to make cabbage soup. Man, look at all these liabilities. It ain't Charlie's fault he's poor, it's the grandparents' fault. Y'all had a whole lifetime to make sure your kids didn't live in poverty, and none of them did anything with their lives to make their kids' lives better. So thanks to these lazy bums, Charlie can only eat cabbage soup. Now the dad makes minimum wage at a toothpaste company to feed a family of 7, and the film shows us why he's working the minimum, because when he gets the chance, he risks losing his job by stealing toothpaste caps to give to his son.
If that ain't the lowest IQ move I've ever seen. Bro, if you're willing to take big risks like stealing on the job, then why don't you take big risks and like start your own business or invest in stocks? Like, it's no wonder you're poor.
And Charlie's family is so poor, they can't even give him a proper Lego set, and he has to create his own Lego using toothpaste caps. I hope he doesn't go to any sleepovers at his friend's place, because then he'll really hate his situation. And I feel bad for Charlie's mom too. It's almost like this film is a big commercial saying this is what happens when you marry the dude working minimum wage. Anyway, Grandpa Joe starts bragging that his biggest accomplishment in life was working minimum wage at Willy Wonka's factory.
Wait, so is everyone in Charlie's family just working minimum wage? What the hell?
So this grandpa tells Charlie how Wonka is a genius when it comes to chocolate, pretty much glazing him, saying he's like the chocolate Jesus because he can do the impossible with chocolate. And when Wonka opened the largest chocolate factory in the world, Grandpa Joe celebrated with his wife like he owns the factory too. It's like, nah bro, you still making the minimum.
You're still a slave.
Also, why is this old ass still working? Didn't houses back then cost 3 blueberries? Like, yo, if you lived in a time where it was the easiest era to buy a house and you still couldn't buy one, I believe you genuinely failed in life. Anyway, he continues to glaze Willy's Wonka that he made a palace completely out of chocolate with the help of some 9-to-5 slaves for an Indian prince, and tells his ass to start eating it, but bro's like, no, I'm gonna live in it and attract all the bugs and insects. And I guess this prince never graduated preschool, as he finds out the hard way chocolate melts. Who knew? Then Joe says other companies got jealous of Wonka's success and sent spies to steal his secret recipe so they can make their own diabetes-inducing candy like ice cream that never melts, chewing gum that doesn't lose flavor, and candy balloons that cause cancer. So this pissed off Wonka so much he ended up firing everybody and said he'll shut down the factory forever. But won't that make Wonka's competitors win because they stole his recipe and he's not gonna sell chocolate anymore? But we're then told the factory mysteriously opened again only recently.
And that's how I got fired and decided to never work again.
Did you buy a house with your salary?
No.
Then this old man complains he only been eating cabbage soup forever, but it's like, well, you should have done something when you were younger to prevent you and your family living in poverty then. Like, what was your job? Movie doesn't even tell us what he did for work. Meanwhile, this granny's like,
I like grapes. Charlie, I buried a dead body somewhere. You tell anyone, I kill you.
But Charlie's a good kid, never complaining that he's poor, being polite and kind to all his family members while using a hole in the house as a window, and somehow doesn't die from frostbite. The next morning, Wonka makes an announcement that he will allow 5 children to visit his factory, with 1 lucky winner to receive a special prize, and has placed 5 golden tickets and 5 random Wonka chocolate bars. And whichever kid finds them will get invited to his factory. Yo, why only children though? So what happens if a grown-ass man finds it? Can he not go because he's not a kid? Like, the sign literally says 5 children, not 5 people.
Wonka, why you only want to see little kids? That's a little weird.
Then in Tokyo, Japan, the Asian kids are racing to get the diabetes and heart disease.
And all over the world, people be fiending for the chocolate bars. Like, this dude traded his damn goat for 3 bars.
3? That's it, bro? You got 3 chocolate bars by trading in 1 goat? Buddy, you got scammed.
So the whole world's trying to get one of them golden tickets. Even Charlie's broke ass is trying to get one despite only getting 1 Wonka bar per year for his birthday, which is next week. But this old head's like, you don't have a chance. The first kid's going to be fat. Boy, was he right, cause in Dusseldorf, Germany, yeah. We meet Augustus Gloop, who says himself he ate his way to getting the first ticket. And the mom starts bragging about how much Big Boy eats. She's like, he's fat cause of me.
How did you get so big?
I eat more candy. Then Charlie's family starts talking shit about him cause they're jelly since they can't even buy chocolate even if they wanted to. But you know what? They seem like a happy family that loves their kid. And he seems like a cutie patootie, so I disagree with Charlie's family, who calls him a repulsive boy. And repulsive means disgusting.
Oh, that granny fat-phobic.
Then we meet the next kid, Veruca Salt, a spoiled brat that gets everything she wants, and I don't even blame her for turning out like that when the dad doesn't even know how to say no.
I don't want another slave. I want my golden ticket.
Girl, why are you looking like that? You're her parent too, so go raise her. So he commands his slaves to open hundreds of thousands of Wonka bars, and when one of them finds it, bro somehow saw it at the exact moment she found it and takes it when there's hundreds of workers in a giant ass factory. And when he gives it to her, she's like,
Daddy, I want another pony.
then the Charlie family keep talking shit like that.
Venti Frappuccino loving brat.
Then his parents surprise him with his birthday gift, even though it's 1 week early, and gets him a Wonka bar as the whole family is preying on this bar to save them from poverty, and they're still poor.
Brokies.
But despite being disappointed, Charlie shares his present with his family like a good boy. And the granny be sniffing that shit like a homeless drug addict. She's like, Then we find out Charlie's so poor, he be reading the news from the trash, as the third winner is a girl named Violet who's ambitious, strong, and wants to win. So turns out she's the gum chewing champion and announces to the world she's gonna win the special prize no matter what. And the Charlie family keep talking shit, but honestly, there's nothing wrong with being driven and wanting to win, cause that's like every anime protagonist ever. Then the fourth winner is a Roblox addict that won the ticket cause he cracked the system using coding, and he's also a pro rage beta too. So what are your thoughts on Wonka?
I don't know. I hate chocolate.
You don't sheebar. You should have been aborted, you little Roblox playing GTA 6 waiting Minecraft gooning little shit. Wait, did y'all know that Charlie's mom played as the villain in Harry Potter? You know you're a great actress when you are super unlikable in one film and a warm likable character in another. That's called range.
Dad, why aren't you at work?
They told me to piss off. Like a vacation? Sure. So the dad gets fired and replaced by a robot that is more efficient and costs less. Kinda like how AI is getting rid of a lot of the 9-to-5 jobs right now. Crazy how this film was made 20 years ago and it's still super relatable. So as Charlie watches his parents contemplate being homeless, he's like, damn, so this is what happens when you marry for love and not marry for money.
Then sorry.
Grandpa Joe gives Charlie his entire net worth and tells him to buy another Wonka bar in hopes they can escape poverty. Wake your old ass up. So he gets the bar, they open it together, and Grandpa Joe looks like he's gooning. He's like, and they're still poor. As Charlie's so poor, he goes outside Wonka's factory and starts sniffing the smell so he can imagine himself eating chocolate. But suddenly, Charlie finds $10 on the ground, which is a year of cabbage soup for his family.
Now, you know when you find money on the ground, usually when someone finds money, for a second at least, they kind of go like, oh, like, did anyone drop this? Anyone, at least for a moment, right? Not Charlie. He just went, yup, this is mine. I don't care who dropped it. You ain't getting this shit back.
So he heads to a shop and buys another Wonka bar, and boom, bro wins the last and final golden ticket. Now, I know you're a kid, but why would you show the whole world you want a ticket out in the open like that? Like someone could rob and stab you for that shit. Then this dude offers $50 for it, and I'm like, 50? I'd tell him to wipe his ass with that 50. That's not even scamming, that's just straight theft. 50? Aladdin's genie ain't even gonna fix your hairline for 50, bro. But the store owner protects him and tells him to take it straight home. And Charlie got so excited he forgot to take the change from the $10 that could have fed his family for months. And when he shows his family, Grandpa Joe's all like, yippee! Guess who pretended to be dying so you can take care of me type shit. And the ticket says to bring one member of family along with them, and Grandpa's like, pick me, pick me. And Charlie gives the most responsible answer ever, saying they should sell it because they need the money. But this old man calls him an idiot, saying there's only 5 of these in the world, so it's worth more than money.
But I would argue, because there's only 5 in the world, imagine how someone is willing to pay for it if you auction it out into the entire world. Plus, let's say he goes to the factory. There's no guarantee that Charlie's going to win the special prize. That special prize is only given to one ticket winner. So just because you get the ticket doesn't guarantee anything. And at that point, he didn't even know what the prize was. So bro's just betting, ooh, maybe I could win, when you could have just sold it and get generational wealth. So if anything, I agree with Charlie that you should have just sold it for money.
So his grandpa convinces him to go, and all the winners then pull up to the factory, and wait a minute, how is it that Wonka bars were all over the world and not a single Chinese or an Indian found a ticket? Man, this tells me 2 things, that the Japanese kids from earlier got scammed, and Wonka is the racist. Then the factory opens and we're introduced to Willy Wonka.
Who are you?
Good morning, Starshine. Earth says hello.
Yeah, dude's a weirdo.
They're like,
What in the hell? Mr. Wonka, I used to work here as your slave.
are you the little shit that stole my recipe?
No, sir.
Then welcome back, slave. So he takes them to the factory, takes off his goggles, and bro, I had no idea bro was Johnny Depp. Like, how? That does not look like Johnny Depp at all.
If you told me that was Michael Jackson's brother, I think that would be more believable.
You know, the pale skin, high-pitched voice, socially awkward and likes hanging out with kids. That's Michael Jackson 2.0. Anyway, Violet starts sucking up to Wonka like a teacher's pet, but bro's disgusted and don't care. Then others try sucking up, like Augustus says,
I love your chocolate.
I can see that.
Damn, did he just call the kid fat? Yeah, they don't make movies like this anymore.
Then Wonka has a mental breakdown, struggling to say the word parents, acting all weird, going,
Dad? Daddy? Papa? Oh, he got the daddy issues.
peasant want some chocolate? Sure. Then buy some, pussy.
Let's be friends. Best friends.
Girl, more like let's be fake. So they enter a room where everything is edible, but Augustus heard it as an all you can eat rather than you can eat all, so this boy gets to eating. While Violet calls Charlie a loser and puts gum at the back of her ear to chew it later.
Ew.
Then we're introduced to the Oompa Loompas, who are mini short kings that Wonka found in the wild, and because the little people worship the cocoa bean, Wonka decides to enslave them all to do whatever he wants with them, giving them cocoa beans in return. And while bro's yapping, the big boy falls into the chocolate river, and I don't know why the mom's so worried, just give him a couple minutes and he'll drink the whole thing in no time. Then a machine sucks up the big boy as the Oompa Loompas start singing a song about how fat he is, fat shaming the shit out of him. So I'm curious how the actor playing Augustus felt when he was casted to play as the fat kid that will have a song written about how fat he is.
Imagine when the film director casted him, he was like, yeah, so we really need a fat kid for the role, and we're gonna make a song singing about how fat you are, and look, I think you're perfect for the job. Imagine how the kid would feel. It's like, damn, like, I must be really fat.
So Big Boy gets sucked into the chocolate making room and his mom's like, where is my son, ya? Oh, he's getting boiled alive.
Just kidding.
And an Oompa Loompa takes her to her son. Then a candy horsey pulls up and Wonka's slaves offers them a ride. Did you know that chocolate makes my butt itchy?
That's gay.
So they get on the boat ride and Charlie traumatizes Wonka, making him get flashbacks of his past as a nerdy little kid. Wait, is she doing blackface? Yeah, they don't make movies like this anymore. So we're introduced to Lil Willie and told he's the son of the city's most famous dentist.
All Asians must love him.
And he nags his son talking about how sweets are bad, that it rots your teeth, you'll get diabetes, etc. But the irony of telling a kid you can't have something ever will only make the kid obsessively want it even more. Yo, look at his face. Bro's dad created a monster that's gonna obsess over sweets forever. So while Wonka continues to have his anime flashback moment, we get more scenes why this film will never be made in 2025 as his slaves whip cows to make whipped cream. Vegans won't like this.
Yeah, that's abuse. Then report it to Peter and do something, little girl, but you ain't gonna do shit.
Damn, Willie, why are you beefing with kids? So he takes them to the inventing room and shows them a gum that is a full 3-course meal by itself, so Violet takes it and despite Wonka saying don't, she's like, I'm a winner, I do what I want, and eats it.
Spit it out.
But she keeps chewing, Wonka starts mewing, and Violet turns blue, and despite being told she's turning blue, this girl keeps chewing for the plot and turns into a big-ass blueberry. And I noticed when Violet was turning blue, Veruca was smiling, happy as hell.
Oh, she low-key evil.
And when her own mom sees her daughter looking like a blueberry, the first thing she says is how she's supposed to compete. Meaning she sees her daughter more as a bragging trophy rather than an actual human being. So the slaves do their little dancey dance and sing a rehearsed song almost like Wonka knew which kids were gonna fail from the start as the mom goes with Violet to get the blueberry juice sucked out of her. Then Wonka and Veruca start talking shit about her going,
I hope she stays blue forever.
that's what you get for chewing gum all day. She disgusting. Then Charlie keeps giving Willie anime flashbacks like how he ate his first piece of chocolate his dad failed to burn and Willie tastes that shit and goes,
evolving into the chocolate nerd.
oh, he be eating it and studying it like an Asian studying to be a doctor, and that's how bro became the chocolate Elon Musk. But turns out his father's against his dreams and disowns him.
Wait, so the dad's a dentist and he disowns his son for following his dreams? Is Willie's dad the Asian?
I'll run away from home. I won't be here when you come back.
Yeah, right. Then Willie goes for a walk, comes back, and bro's dad leaves for the milk and takes the whole building with him. Like, damn, he is petty. I guess the dad isn't Asian, because Asians don't leave for the milk because we
Lactose intolerant.
Oh, Willie's dad isn't Asian. Willie's dad is black.
And the next room we see is the nut sorting room, as these squirrels love gobbling nuts in their mouth so much they know which nut is good and which nut is bad. Why not have human slaves like me? Well, abusing animals is cheaper, duh. So the spoiled princess goes, Daddy, I want one. I'm tired of human slaves, I want to abuse animals too. But you abused plenty of animals.
Only 15 puppies and 12 kittens.
So her daddy offers to buy one off Wonka, but his sassy ass is like, they're not for sale. So Veruca's pissed and goes, I'll get it myself then, and approaches the squirrels. But they all collectively stop their shit and deadass look at her like, girl, I've had nothing but nut in my mouth for years. Touch me and see what happens. And despite Wonka warning her, she don't give a shit, cause her whole life she always got what she wanted, so she learns the hard way what happens if you stop a squirrel from tasting nut in their mouth. As they pin her down to check if she's a bad nut. Yo, this scene was hilarious. Bro was shaking the door, but it's like, you do know you can just climb over if you really wanted to help, right? While Willie's just taking a sweet ass time cause he don't care and want drama.
Bitch, you gay? Hello?
And turns out she is a bad nut, so the squirrels decide to dump her ass into the garbage chute. Yeet. Then Wonka's like, now that you can't help your daughter, I now remember which key opens the door. And when the dad goes down to look for her, the Oompa Loompas dance, sing their song, and gives Veruca more garbage to enjoy. Then a squirrel, high on nut, yeets his wealthy ass down to the garbage too. And with 3 kids disqualified now due to bad behavior, I think it's obvious the film's trying to say bad parenting equals misbehaved kids.
So maybe, just maybe, this is why you need to beat your kids.
So they get in this magic elevator and Roblox Addict wants to see the television room and he keeps yapping like a geek. He goes,
I think science is cooler than chocolate.
shut up! Then Wonka brings a chocolate bar the size of Megamind's forehead and transports the bar to go inside the TV.
This ain't real, it's AI.
So when Wonka tells Charlie to take the bar from the TV, Roblox Addict gets pissed because he learns Wonka created teleportation only to use it to move chocolate. So he calls Wonka an idiot, then proceeds to do the dumbest thing possible by transporting himself into the TV. Like, buddy, you just saw a giant chocolate bar turn tiny and you decide you want to use the machine on yourself too? Okay. Then his stupid ass turns ridiculously tiny and now he has to be stretched by using a taffy puller as the kid will never look the same ever again. And with Roblox eliminated since Charlie's the last kid remaining on the tour, he wins by default.
You want to know the real message of this film? That you need to stop beating your kids. That parents should beat their kids. Because I promise you, if it was 5 Japanese kids that were the golden ticket winners, I guarantee no one would have been disqualified. They would have all been very well behaved and would have stayed till the end of the tour. I guarantee it. So the film's really trying to say, like Asians, you need to beat your kids.
Anyway, Wonka congratulates him and gets all acoustic and knocks himself out, and then the 3 of them use the magic glass elevator to defy the laws of physics to get outside and touch grass, while all the other golden ticket winners go through a humiliation ritual. So Big Boy's looking like he's soaked in shit, Violet is permanently an avatar now because she's blue, the rich folk are covered in trash smelling worse than a peasant slave, and Roblox Kid is now built like the next center for the Lakers.
I mean, Violet and Roblox got permanent irreversible damage on their bodies because of the tour, so wouldn't they sue Wonka after the tour?
So in hindsight, when this old man told Charlie he's an idiot for trying to get generational wealth by selling the golden ticket, turns out Charlie was right and the others should have sold the ticket because the other 4 ticket winners didn't get shit but trauma.
Daddy, I want to ride on Willy's Wonka.
You're spoiled ass and getting shit.
But I want it. I'm going to get mother to divorce you.
So as the 4 kids get publicly humiliated, Wonka asks where the brokies live, and despite Charlie's family having no money, Wonka destroys their roof to see the fam to save some time from walking.
Are we getting robbed? Because I only have 20 cents.
Yo, why the hell Charlie looking so happy? Bro, your crib's roof just got destroyed. You know y'all can't pay for it. But then Wonka announces he will give Charlie his whole factory as a prize in the one condition that he leaves his family and never sees his family again. Yo, this family went from we rich to oh, he's rich. But Charlie chooses family over money, saying he'd rather stay poor and have nothing than to be rich and never see his family again. Then Wonka's like, oh, that's right, kids don't care about money. You sure you don't want to come?
I'm sure.
Alright then, well enjoy fixing the roof then, peasants! And Wonka leaves.
I lick my socks and eat them.
But thanks to plot armor, they find the money to fix the roof because Charlie's dad got a job as a technician that fixes the machine that replaced him, so they're still poor but now they can afford to buy chicken. Meanwhile, Wonka's depressed and goes to therapy, then figures out his Wonka bars aren't selling well because he's not feeling well, so to feel better and make better candy, he decides to see Charlie again. Yeah, clean my shoes nice and good, peasant. So what do you think of Wonka?
He's a Michael Jackson wannabe kid-obsessed fraud.
That's a lie. So Willy asks Charlie what makes him feel better and he says it's his family. And when Charlie figures out Wonka got daddy issues, he offers to help come with him to meet Wonka's dad. So Wonka agrees as his autistic ass knocks himself out again, and for the first time in 30 years, Wonka decides to see his dad again who lives in the middle of nowhere. And you know what's dumb? The dad doesn't even recognize Wonka is his son, even though the dad collected every news article about Wonka's success, meaning he has always deep down cared and was super proud of his achievements, and has all these photos of his son but somehow can't recognize his face, but he can recognize his teeth? Really, movie? Really? So they hug it out when they could have done that shit like 20 years ago, and I blame the dad for not being man enough to seek reconciliation with his son when he pretty much abandoned his ass when Wonka was a kid. Then the movie ends with Charlie inheriting Wonka's factory but still gets to see his family as Wonka is now also part of the family too.
You smell like penis.
And you gonna die, old lady, and your breath stank. I like that. So Charlie's family ain't broke no more as the kid starts suggesting what kind of candy to make next as Wonka says bro's onto something. But wait a minute, since when was Charlie an expert on making chocolate in the movie? Bro was just poor and the only well-behaved kid, and now he's the next genius telling Wonka what to do and what kind of candy they should make next? Well, at least it's a happy ending. Well, not that happy, because the 4 old people definitely gonna die, and Wonka will have to help bury them and see Charlie sad and heartbroken, but yeah.
Happy ending.
Overall, this movie is one of my favorite films growing up, and it just sucks that, they don't make these kind of films anymore. Yeah, so what can we learn from this film? Beat your kids, don't marry poor, and if you leave for the milk, your kid will be autistic. Thank you so much for watching. It's been your boy KC, and yeah, till next time.